Hey guys, welcome to Brainstorm Brewery. It is DJ Johnson here, your primary host. You remember me from last week. I talked to you all, had a good episode to ourselves for a while until Jason crashed it a bit, but I decided to unfire Corbin due to, I don't know.
That was a great intro. Great intro.
Look, I go to Europe for a couple weeks to work, and he gets to call himself the primary host now.
I fired you. Be thankful that you're here.
This is a disaster, Jason, man.
I said, hey, I'm going to be like 20 minutes late because I was at a gig, so just get started without me. And what I meant was do the hour and a half of precast bullshit that we always do without
by
me.
Yourself.
Yeah. Well, no, him and our guest. So when I showed up, we were ready to hit the ground running, but they're like, no, we just did a bunch of segments without you. Like, I'm the only reason anybody listens to this podcast. I don't know why you would start without
I don't
me.
know, man. I'm in it for the primary host, DJ Johnson. College dropouts are my thing.
When Corbin and I weren't here, DJ, there were no hosts.
It wasn't even
That's what
Brainstorm
happened.
Brewery.
It wasn't.
It was just somebody stealing the cast.
Our editor uploaded it
Hijacking.
as Brainstorm Brewery.
Yeah, well, he messed up too, man. No one's perfect.
No, especially not the guy who labeled 2 episodes in a row as 267.
Yeah, nice job, JJ. Anyways, I'm back. I was in France. It was great. I worked at GP in Lyon. Then I took a train ride down to Nice. Then, and this is maybe more money draft life, we went to Monaco, which, you should know, is its own country.
It's a principality, not a country, you peasant.
Okay. It is the highest per capita per resident. It's the highest net wealth per capita in the world.
Incorrect. That would be Vatican City.
No.
Oh?
There's only one person who lives in Vatican City, and he has trillions of dollars.
I want you to know that I subscribe to the Marshall Sutcliffe newsletter of Monaco Facts. He gave me Monaco Fun Fact number 1, and I said /subscribe, and I continued to get Monaco Fun Facts, such as it has the highest life expectancy of any country in the world.
None of our listeners subscribe to these facts, so /unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe. I like how you like.
You
oh,
have
I've been
been
getting fun
to
facts all
Monaco
week,
Facts.
and the 2 things I said about Monaco have been wrong. It's not a country; it's a principality, and it doesn't have the highest GDP in the
You've
world.
Why
done
do
it.
you know
You
that?
have subscribed to Monaco Facts. Thank you for subscribing to Monaco Facts. Would you like to know more?
Jason, why do you know
I was
that?
trying. I just know stuff. I was trying to subscribe to Monica Facts. I want to hear about Courtney Cox's character from Friends, and now you're telling me about a place that's mostly good for a racetrack.
It is good for a racetrack. I didn't know much about the Grand Prix, but it's just like a thing, and there's some crazy corner that they have to turn through. I don't know. If you want to know, you should bug Marshall about it. I'm sure it'll be on his vlog because he knew all about Monaco. Anyways, it was a lot of fun. I may or may not have snuck onto I may or may not have snuck onto a yacht for a photo.
Like,
I did not get thrown into. They were like, "What if you get caught? They'll throw you in jail." And I'm like, "It's probably nicer than my hotel room."
yeah,
Because
Monaco jails, they're probably really nice.
You can get if you're interested in a studio apartment in Monaco, it will only run you about €4.5 million. So just keep that in mind.
Per
A
month?
month or...
No, I think that was to buy.
Okay.
No,
You know, if you really want to live in Monaco.
that's nothing. Why would you not want to live in Monaco? Oh, because it's like full of gross American tourists a lot. Yeah, good call.
I don't know. I don't think there are many Americans there.
Hey, Corbin's a Canadian-American gross tourist.
That's true. Riley Knight and I tried to go to the McDonald's there, but we couldn't get the rest of the team to buy in. So what we
Monaco
did do
is so nice; they have McRibs all year round.
we went to the Monte Carlo, which is, it's like the casino or whatever, right? There's a dress code most of the times there, although not in the middle of the day when we went. You cannot go to the casino if you are a resident of Monaco. You have to prove that you are not a resident of Monaco to get in.
Why?
That's a fun fact. I don't know. He just keeps. They don't want it.
They don't want the people who live in Monaco to become poors by blowing all their money at Baccarat.
Yeah, so this might explain it a little bit. We walked in. It's €14 to get in. Okay, up front. It's clearly they have tourists in mind here, right?
How much is that in freedom dollars?
Like 18? Yeah.
There's your Monaco fact right there.
So the main room that you walk into, it's a pretty large room, very fancy. I tried to take a photo and I immediately got my wrist slapped by some, person who worked there. There were 5 tables, 1 small one at the bar, 2 for roulette, 2 for blackjack. That's it.
Okay.
That's the entire casino in that section. Everything else was like either private for like the big rollers, or you had to be like super dressed up or whatever, right? So I think the reason they don't want the locals to go there is because it would have a lot more people there a lot more often, and then it would just look like whatever casino you go to locally that's just a mess, or it looks like Vegas where there's crazy stuff going on, and it would kind of kill the vibe this place has as being the most high class or whatever.
I see.
I subscribed also to the Frank Carson system of betting. And as you might know, Frank Carson has a PhD in math. We did not win any money.
Huh.
That was a cool story.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
I subscribe to the Frank Lepore system of betting, where I bet you're going to tell a terrible story at the beginning of the podcast and kill all of our momentum. And I was right.
We had no momentum to kill. Anyways, France was fun. I also went to like a little village called Ez. It was great, and this is some good value. You might like this story a little better. I decided that I am a stupid American who does not need to learn anything about or really respect the customs or way of life of anywhere I go. So I had no euros. Okay. I did accidentally end up with a couple euro coins from Neil Rigby at some point. So I get on the bus.
Probably because when you were sitting on the ground charging your phone, you left your hat upturned, and people's like, "Oh, look at that gross dude wearing cargo shorts. He can't even afford real pants," and they just threw money in your hat.
Well, okay. Well, I see that you are jumping ahead in the story.
I don't know the story. Nobody wants to know the story.
I had 2 euro coins, and I got on a bus to go to this little village. I get to the village. I realize I no longer have euro coins. And I'm like, it's whatever. I'll find an ATM, and I'll get euros out with my credit card. I find out there's no ATM in this little village. No biggie. All right, I'll go to like the bar or something. I'll get a drink, and I'll just like pay them a few dollars extra on my credit card, and they can give me some euros. But it was like, turns out it was not tourist season, so nothing was really even open in this little village, which was like on top of a hill overlooking the sea and was really cool. And there was like the path of Nietzsche where that, used to walk, etc. I did all this stuff. It was really fun and nice. But it turns out there was nowhere open, and there was actually nowhere I could get more euros.
Was this on a Sunday?
No, this was on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday. And so I'm on this little village. I've been dropped off by the bus. I'm in France. I'm a stupid American. And I'm walking around this place with no way to get back the 30-minute bus ride to my hotel. So literally, I walk into a hotel, which is closed. And by hotel, I mean like 2 rooms in the middle of this, like 1600s village or whatever. And I actually had to beg the receptionist to give me €2 to get back. So I walked in. I was like, "Do you know where I could exchange some money? I have a 20 in US dollars and I have a credit card. I just need €2 so I can get back to my hotel." And she was like,
"You should have come plumpa."
She was like, "You only need 2?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't know." And she just like laughed at me and was like, "Here's €2." So I finished walking around. I clutched that euro in my hand the entire time so I could get back onto the bus. So I guess that was value. I was gifted €2 by a nice French lady.
Gifted,
just, at the
is not the word I would use there.
It just came at the cost of what little pride I had. Then I got a nice welcome home when I got a nice welcome home with a little more pride going out the window because my kid puked on me tonight.
We've been recording for 12 minutes, and it feels like an hour.
Yeah, man, this is what people miss. We had to get it all in.
No.
I'm going to spend the rest of the podcast getting made fun of. I had to tell France stories while I could.
I'm going to pull
it's
a Ryan.
over.
Good night,
Let's
guys.
move on.
I wish I could puke on you. I want to figure out a way to vomit on your shirt over the internet.
Well, play your cards right, Jason.
And I'm inclined to puke because I've been talking to Corbin for the last 2 hours about stuff related to this podcast, which means I've been drinking heavily. And I've been drinking out of this handsome Brainstorm Brewery glass.
Yeah, it must be nice to have a Brainstorm Brewery glass.
I'm not going to send you any. So we should spend a few seconds talking about the Patreon. I know I always tell you guys that you should subscribe at the $1 rate because it's very good and you get access to the Discord channel. But there have been some fee changes in the way Patreon does it. I still think it's worth it and very affordable to give us $1 per month. And since we're not a weekly charging podcast, we're a monthly charging podcast, you're not going to get that 35-cent fee 4 times in a month on a $1 pledge. So it's still fine to subscribe at $1. We haven't really lost that many people upset over the fees like some other podcasts. But I think that fee change makes the $5 tier more attractive. And at the $5 tier, you get early access to the podcast. And that's just a day early you're accessing all of our sweet finance information. And you're going to be,
which this episode
ahead
has
of the
had
plebeians.
none of so far.
You said of which it's had none of. So I need you to go sit in the corner and think about what you said.
It's like 1 a.m, and I am exhausted because we spent like 3 hours talking.
Oh my God, nobody cares.
Hey man,
anyways,
just pick up your certificate of redundancy certificate and stop interrupting my Patreon pitch. Anyway,
well, the Patreon changes, a lot of people were mad about them, and honestly, we're not a huge fan. It's really annoying, but at least, if you're a weekly podcast, if you're taking a weekly pledge, it's actually a big problem. But because we're monthly, you only get the fee once instead of every time, and we completely understand if it changes anyone's decisions on Patreon, because if you support a lot of podcasts, which a lot of people do, you support a lot of different content creators, it all adds up. We get it, but what we want to do is solicit feedback as to how our current patrons, as well as anyone considering it, listeners, what you want, what we can do to add value to it, because what we're really targeting is, if you're going to get dinged a little bit on the dollar one, thanks to Patreon, what we can do to make maybe that $5 level a little more interesting. And it comes with early access to the podcast, which is, I think pretty a big deal a lot of times, right? Was the number one requested feature. And you get that at the $5 level.
Yep. Go to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery and pledge your support. Thanks to everyone who currently supports us. And, maybe we'll be pitching some other stuff here pretty soon. Maybe,
I think the $5...
I sent Squatty Potty a message.
Corbin actually got off of his metaphorical Squatty Potty and messaged us. So buy a Squatty Potty, just not yet.
I think the $5 level...
I sent them back a message. I'm trying to make it happen. I contact Squatty Potty and tell them I will buy a Squatty Potty if you sponsor Brainstorm Brewery.
One thing I will say, if you think the $1 Patreon level is untenable because of the stupid fees and you don't want to pay $5 because you're supporting other places, one thing you can do for absolutely free to support this podcast that we would greatly appreciate is go on the YouTubes and like and subscribe to our YouTube.
That's not where I thought you
stuff.
were going with that, Jay. I thought you were going to say one thing that's completely free is you can unsubscribe from all your other ones. And then
that's a good point, yeah.
And put that money into Brainstorm Brewery, and then you get a better value from Patreon because you're not getting a flat fee charged.
That's true. There were so many ways he could go with that in which to either insult the listeners or to insult other content creators, and instead he just did something nice.
What you can do is go ahead and go to work an hour early and make some extra money, you peasant.
Well, this sounds like a good time to
Support our
announce.
cast.
We should make the YouTube announcements, right?
Yeah.
So we have gained a lot of subscribers on the YouTube since we created it, and we want more, right? We're trying to make a push. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback about the video version of the podcast in terms of the graphics and the charts and a bunch of stuff that should, whatever, and theoretically increase your enjoyment of the podcast, but not take anything away if you are only listening to the audio version. But it's added value, and we want to give you a little more incentive to go check it out and subscribe at Brainstorm Brewery on YouTube. And we're doing an Iconic Masters giveaway to make that happen. So we
one full
when
booster box of Iconic Masters, of which the MSRP is $200, and of which you can find at retail for like $140. So
hang on,
we're giving away.
I got a thing I've got to read.
We're giving away something that's rapidly dropping in value. You're welcome.
Did you write it on the back of your hand?
No, I wrote it on a sheet of paper.
Okay.
The bullet points to hit. It's your boy. It's your boy, Jason. Smash that like button. Finger bang that bell icon. Check our YouTube channel before you riggedy wreck our YouTube channel.
What is that? That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't want them to riggedy wreck our channel, because how would they do
this
that?
Is Jason's comedic genius. This is his stand-up routine right here.
Yeah, I talk about our Patreon on stage, you idiot. Jeez, Corbin, go back to France and beg for more euros, you poor. Alrighty. This is
That's it? Three analogies? That's all you had?
This is why people think that we hate each other.
Three analogies, that's all
Corbin
you had.
That was all I had, because I don't know about YouTube. Because by the time someone's like, "It's your boy," smash that like button, I've already turned off the video. I don't really know.
Corbin, stop
Finger bang.
I watch a 10-second ad for Google Pixel, and then I watch 3 seconds of a YouTube video. And I was like, why did I give an inferior content creator a click?
Corbin, stop antagonizing Jason, or he might block you on Twitter.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Anyways, let me announce this here. When we get to 2,000 YouTube subscribers, whether that's next week, whether that's next month, whether that's a year from now, hopefully it doesn't take that long.
It'll be a year from now.
Well, you know what? That
rate of growth.
That Iconic Masters box will be worth more by then. So we've also been doing YouTube-specific content. We're calling Brain Bites. It's just where we spend a short amount of time, right? Not a full podcast episode, maybe a 5 to 15-minute segment. Just talking about something specific. Jason did one last week on Unstable.
No. Jason and I did one about Unstable, and then Jason's audio didn't end up being recorded. And so then Jason re-recorded it on his own.
And it was much better.
Right, so Jason did a segment on Unstable, and it was a Brain Bites, and it went up on the YouTube channel. So go check all those out, subscribe to it, and when we hit 2K, one of the followers will receive a free Iconic Masters box.
Unless you're a Russian bot, then you probably won't.
Yeah, that was based on previous experience. The first thing Jason said was, what happens when someone buys us 5,000 Russian bots?
Yep.
So,
hey, Russians, stop undermining our democracy and just leave us alone.
I just still, like, when I think of Jason, I think of a few things, but Jason huddled in a corner with a beer, clicking block on 5,000 Russian bots or whatever, however many fake followers you got.
I think it was 1,000. But yeah, someone bought me 1,000 fake followers.
As a joke. Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that you had to spend however many minutes of your life doing that.
Well, I was listening to you talk, so it was good to have something to do while I was pretending to pay attention to what you were saying.
Okay, I'm glad that worked out for you. Speaking of Jason, now that he's obliterated my show notes where I had this in there later, let's go ahead and talk about it, because we learned something today. We've had patrons in our Discord channel, which you can check out for $1 a month on the Patreon. It's awesome. But they're like, I love the podcast. I love the Discord. I think this is all great. Why has Jason blocked me on Twitter? And it turns out the bar for Jason blocking people is incredibly low. Why don't you
Did
tell
you
us a
know
little
that
more?
you don't get a finite number of blocks per month? You can block as many people on Twitter as you want.
What does it take for you to block somebody, Jason?
Oh boy, I got a hair trigger. Okay, so here are some of the things I've blocked people for. Let's see. Well, I use a program to see who has unfollowed me and who has newly followed me, and also who I'm following that isn't following me back. And if like somebody that I regularly interact with on Twitter unfollows me, you're blocked. I'm not going to let you refollow me later when you come to your senses. You fucked up. You got no loyalty, so I don't need you around.
Never mind the fact that Twitter randomly unfollows accounts sometimes.
Hey, man.
Jason doesn't
sometimes
want...
you go on
Jason
rants
doesn't want
and maybe
unlucky people following him. Jason doesn't want unlucky people following him.
I don't need your bad luck rubbing up. Oh, Twitter, man. Get a new account and do better next time. I don't want to hear it. So,
Wow.
Let's see. Sometimes people will I'll get tagged in something dumb from someone I don't like, and then someone following that person but not following me will and I was like, oh, I'll just notice they're not following me. I'm like, who are they following? And I was like, oh, you're following that guy? Blocked.
So somebody new gets on Twitter,
yeah.
and they're like, I hear that Magic's the place, Twitter's the place for all this Magic stuff. I really want to check it out. Well, this is the first person. I found them first, so click it. I'll follow them. Oh, here's a conversation. I'm going to join in, and I'm doing it. I love Twitter. Boom, blocked by Jason.
Hey, if they didn't... You know what? Sometimes there are people, and I notice that the very first account they follow is mine. Those people are cool. Unless they unfollow me, and then they're blocked. That's how it goes. And you know what? It's such a small part of my day that I will just block
Is
people.
it?
So
based on
so
all the
little provocation that people later why'd you block me 2 years ago? I'm like, I don't remember. You think
I blocked one person in my life.
Yeah,
Come
well,
on.
you should try it. It's really... Some people are like, mute them. And look... I don't care about seeing dumb people's dumb tweets. I don't want them seeing my good tweets. That's why I block people. I don't want you getting my little nuggets of finance information if you don't even have the loyalty to follow me. So you know what? I'll block some people. And you know what? If you think that you've been unjustly blocked, send me a message on Twitter.
If you think you've been unjustly blocked, chances are you have been.
Just send me a message on Twitter and we'll talk about it.
Only from a brand new account that has Jason as the first person followed.
Yep, that was the joke, DJ.
The DJ caught it. I would say my favorite thing is blocking someone on Twitter, and my least favorite thing is them having someone who's not blocked ask why I blocked them. That's my least favorite thing. I don't like having to justify why I block somebody because sometimes there's no justification for it, and I don't care. So that was way better than Corbin's story about France. And if you're still following me on Twitter, congratulations. You've done Twitter correctly.
Wow.
You're in an elite group. What? No, they're idiots. That's why they got blocked. If I'm the idiot, why are they blocked? Answer that. Who's the dummy? Who's the dummy if I'm not blocked by them, but they're blocked by me?
Checkmate.
Got him.
Touche. Checkmate atheists. All right, let's talk about Magic. Unstable came out. You guys want to break some bulk?
That's
Oh, that was a good one. See, I'm playing both sides here because I don't know when Jason's going to go off script and just you had breaking bulk before Unstable, but I want to mess with you.
I don't read your show notes. I don't pay attention to your show notes. I have no idea what order you got stuff in. If something pops into my head,
whatever direction you went, I was covered there. But let's do breaking bulk.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
Speaking of unstable, Corbin's like, yeah, let's just go willy-nilly. I'll talk about unstable and then unstably introduce breaking bulk. That was good. I think that was like a meta joke you made.
Yeah, that's what I do, man. I'll go first. I want to talk about Magic cards. I've been gone for so long, I haven't got to follow much Magic Finance recently, but I think I've got some good stuff this week.
I'm still gonna put your spreadsheet like that you're on vacation, so that the people who don't listen to the podcast and just look at the spreadsheet just assume you quit the podcast.
I can't imagine there's a person like that.
That would just break.
Right?
That would just break your heart, wouldn't it?
If they just check the spreadsheet update, ooh.
I
don't know.
actually looked at your spreadsheet for once, and I did think you had some clever notes in there. So I hate giving you credit, but I will give you credit for that. Anyways, I'm going to name a rare that was... back in the day, it was bulk. Then it wasn't bulk. Then it got reprinted and was bulk again, but is to the point that it's not, and I do think it's one people miss. And it's a Commander 2016 rare, and it's Cathar's Crusade.
You didn't...
You've been away for so...
You've been gone so long. This is a guessing game, you douche.
You're supposed to name... Like,
I had to pick another one because I told you I was going to do Invisible Stalker, and then I was like, I can't do Invisible Stalker because I had said Invisible Stalker out loud.
I thought you just meant that somebody was going to steal it.
No.
Yeah, I have been.
We've been doing this for months.
I'm jet lagged, man. I don't know.
Someone sent Corbin €2 so he can buy some fucking professionalism.
I just got puked on tonight, all over my shirt.
You puked all over this podcast.
It was my shirt and my shoulder and my pants and part of my face. I was just carrying my kid, and the next thing I know, there was puke all over me.
You deserved it.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
guys. I have a white rare out of Commander 2016 and also Avacyn Restored.
Is it? What's the converted mana cost? Is it 5? You're an idiot.
It is 5, yes.
All right. Cool story.
Cathar's Crusade is a great card. It combos with a bunch of stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was bulk for a minute out of Commander 2016. It is now about $2. But it is one that I find in bulk pretty regularly because
it was 5 before the reprinting. Like that card's nutty.
It was also in Commander 2014, so it's worth money after multiple reprints.
It'll just hit like bulk and then just go right back up, and then
I see it all the time.
They'll crack it and they'll go on MTG Goldfish or whatever and see like there are 3 cards in the deck worth more than 10 cents, and they're like, screw it, and they'll sell everything, and then you just get like dumb rares that are just back up to $3 in a year.
My article on TCG Player goes live tomorrow.
Oh my god, stop plugging your articles. Nobody reads those.
And it was about this very phenomenon about immortal cards.
I don't read those, and I edit them.
And he edits them. He's just like, whatever. I check for grocers, apostrophes, and proper use of semicolons, and then just fart them out on that website.
I want to guess one. Somebody make me guess one.
Okay.
This sounds like a fun game.
Yeah.
Jason's is a 1 blue, 1 colorless creature from Innistrad. And
I'm not doing that one anymore, but you can put that on the spreadsheet because it's a great pick that I get in bulk, and it's over $1. This one...
Is it a Mirrodin artifact that taps for a blue or a black mana and then deals you 1 damage?
It is a green creature from Return to Ravnica block.
How about
Experiment 1?
Yeah. See?
It's from Gatecrash.
Gate Crash and Commander 2015, and there's a promo FNM foil that's worth a couple of bucks.
Wrong.
I get these in bulk all day.
It's not an FNM foil.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's like a gateway promo or something weird.
Okay, well, it's labeled FNM foil on a reputable website, so whatever you guys say. Anyway, Experiment 1.
Promo.
Can I
finish? Card's sweet. It's played in like Mono Green Stompy in Modern, and sometimes in Zoo decks that kind of go in and out of being a thing, but it's definitely a good one.
And sometimes you have a 45-45 Experiment 1 in your Azuri Claw Progress deck because you played it on turn 1.
Yeah, it's probably a thing as well.
Azuri actually is getting a little bit of popularity. I looked on EDH Rec, and it's like one of the most popular decks this week, and I think Herald of the Secret Stream, Shapers of Nature, and Growing Rights of Idelmok are the culprits there. I think some of these new merfolk are making it attractive to go ahead and re-register your deck with new cards, and I think a lot of Azuri players are like, wow, Herald of Secret Streams is dumb, huh? Because then you're like 45 Chasm Skulkers unblockable and you just like dome somebody. Not
Man,
that
growing
champion.
rights. That card just keeps getting cheaper.
Well,
It's
not
real bad.
It's super bad.
Well, yeah, it's like not bad. It just was so hyped into something it wasn't. You know.
Yeah.
Like if you
I think
if you just look at the card, it's not bad.
Yeah, no, it's fine for EDH, especially because like it does a non-trivial thing when you play the growing rights as an enchantment.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think
if it didn't have the back side, like if it just had the front side, it would not be the worst card. Like it wouldn't even be hated.
It'd be pretty bad.
It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be bad, but it also wouldn't cost 3 mana, right? I'm saying that effect is reasonable. And say that it transformed
if it
into
were in a
something
pre-con,
else.
some people might leave it in.
Right, or if it transformed into just like something slightly different on the back, but just literally
like
because
a
it's
creature
Cradle.
that tap for 3 mana or something like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, but just literally because it's Cradle, you got hyped to be something it's not. And I think this does happen sometimes where, people look at the previous version of a card or whatever it's a throwback to, and they're like, well, it's not as good as that, therefore it's trash. And you like good cards that are worth money down the line get missed because you just kind of write them off as a bad version of whatever.
People also did the opposite. They were like, this is literally Cradle. And they lost their minds. And I think people forgot that if it were just up to EDH, Cradle would be like a $45 card right now. It was the fact that they changed the legend rule for Legacy, the Legacy Elves and that kind of crap that really made Gaia's Cradle go nuts. Because when this was like played in Legacy, Maverick, and EDH, it was like a $50 card.
Well,
so
yeah, it's also there's a lot to that one, right?
Yeah,
not just but
because that legend rules changed, plus all the like, oh, this is yeah. So there was a lot going on. So like foils
Also
of this were never going to be $200 or whatever people were saying who don't know anything about EDH.
Is it on the reserve list?
Cradle, yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is, right? I would say that has a lot more to do with that price than.
Yeah, and they got that Judge foil print. I mean, the new card that's Academy. Academy's good because it's nuts on turn 1. This is not a turn 1 card. This is a 4-drop enchantment. So let's not make the same mistake again. But new Merfolk. Merfolk are real good in Azuri deck. So like, I think some of the new stuff that makes your creatures unblockable or lets you remove counters from stuff to draw cards is made people re-register their decks. So I don't think these are new Azuri decks per se, but I still think that people are taking a second look at some of the stuff that scales with a lot of the Ixalan Merfolk. And with another batch of Ixalan Merfolk coming in Rivals, maybe you want to take a look at what these Azuri players are thinking, and if if 2 extra printings is not enough to make the Experiment 1 go below $1, then maybe if it gets reprinted again and hits like a quarter, you make a big old pile of those, because it's not bulk, and I just got a huge stripe of them in bulk, so good for me.
So while we're on the topic, real quick before we get to DJs, what do you guys think about the buy a box versions of the stuff like growing rights? It was the Black Friday promotion they did, if people don't know what I'm talking about, where the front side of the card is normal. It just looks like a foil Ixalan card, but the back side is
part of
map.
that big map.
Yeah, which is actually really cool. I had some of these come through the store last week, and I was like, man, I actually think I want to keep
I sold all of mine.
Well, it makes people want to put together there's a collectability to it because people want to put together every piece of the map.
It's not
right, and that's what it is for me.
They don't all like combine to make a picture.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
this is the worst map.
That's right.
It's the worst map ever.
Oh, they don't.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they don't all combine to make a picture. They all just show different parts of the continent.
Well, maybe they're going to complete it with.
Maybe not, because I think they're scaled differently, if I remember correctly now.
That's really weird, but whatever. It's still cool. So I think it's. I think 20 for growing rights, which is that and Search for Azcanta are probably going to be the most expensive ones.
Yeah, what are the rest of them, like Dowsing Dagger and Primal Amulet and crap like
it's
that?
There's the Bloodfast Argyle's Bloodfast.
That one's garbage.
Yeah,
That one might be used.
That one also
used
got
well.
a printing in from the vault.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I think
Argyle's
long
Bloodfast
term
is in from the vault transform.
I do think that long term
just
the
what we
only
needed.
the only two that are really going to be worth anything are Search for Escanta, because that card also had a lot of success in Modern over the weekend. So I think it's going to be that and Growing Rights that are going to be the ones worth picking up. I don't know how low they're going to go. I kind of think.
I mean,
like
sure.
they're 20 to 25 right now. I don't think they're going to get really expensive, but they are really cool.
They're sweet, but I mean, I think you sell now while the hype's high. Like, I had a bunch of the people who bought boxes and, like, got those packs just sell the buy a box promo back to me just for, like, to get an even greater discount on the box. And then I listed them all on TCG, and they all sold within, like, a week. And I got, like, good deals on them because I sold them during release weekend. So I got, like, I sold the Medic Compass for, like, $8. I sold freaking Vance's blasting cannons for, like, $4, even though it's a bulk rare regularly. Like, I got paid on all of those, and, like, I think
Well,
I only
sounds
have
like
a couple
people
left.
just wanted the special rare collectible thing, and maybe they were trying to
Right.
Pokemon it and get one of each of them, even though
Yeah,
it
for
doesn't
sure.
make a big map.
I think that Primal Wellspring is probably the sneakiest one here, because this is Primal Wellspring is a 4-mana artifact that makes your
Primal
instants and
Amulet?
sorceries. Yeah,
Yeah, that's like
costs one less.
Yeah,
And
that's a
then
real
when you cast one, you get a counter on it. When it has 4 counters, you flip it, and then it can add a mana, and it copies instants and sorceries. So most people don't realize the actual. You look at the card in normal Ixalan, you assume it's bulk because most cards are by this point. It's like $1.50 or $2 or something. That copying spells. This is the card, and I don't know if we've talked about it on this cast before, but this is one of those that just sneakily becomes a $5 card in a few years because it's hard to reprint. It's great in Commander, like
Or
it's
after
just-
rotation. Don't you remember what happened with Pyromancer's
Yeah, that's true
goggles?
too. Yeah, that's true too. It could.
This is a Pyromancer's goggles type card.
That's true. Yeah, that's absolutely true. So, I think that honestly, I don't know if it's a pick of the week level thing or whatever, but if Primal Amulet, and I don't have the price in front of me of the promo version, but that's the sneaky one there that is probably flying under the radar a little bit.
I think I sold all those for 12.
Yeah. I'm interested. Just I want to put these on people's radar to keep an eye, because the supply on these I think was probably pretty low.
It wasn't
It's
great.
a one day a year promo.
Our store got like 35 or 40 maybe of the promos. It was between like 30 and 40 of the promos. Of the promo
Yeah, and
packs.
that's not a lot at all, right? That's in 5 years, that's not. 5 years is a long time, but 2 years from now, even that's just not a lot. For
It'll
a
go down
colorless
from where it
card.
is now before it goes up, though.
Yep.
Maybe the promo versions, you think will?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably.
The promo version's going to go down because the hype's going to get worse. Like, they're going to do another similar, like, wacky, wonky Rivals promo, and then the next block's going to come out and everyone's going to forget about X. Like, they're going to keep going down. You're going to have a pretty big window to
Okay.
get in.
Maybe. I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, they've been doing buy box promos forever. So we'll see.
they've been doing them differently. Now it's like, it's not a known thing.
You get a whole pack
Right, that's
now.
what I'm saying is
God,
I
you
don't
remember those Duel the Planeswalkers promos where the store was just getting a huge stack of them?
That was the first big collection I ever got. Was I bought out a small store, and after I got his entire inventory or whatever, he just handed me like a manila envelope full of promo packs, and there was like 50 scavenging oozes in it when they were $5 a piece.
Yeah, that's funny.
Nice.
So Primal Amulet, the promo one right now, is $4 on TCG Player.
Nice.
You think it's going to get cheaper than that?
Yeah, it goes to 2 or 3.
Okay.
That's cheaper than the
That's real
set
cheap.
foil, or the pre-release foil is currently.
That's fine.
There are a lot of them on listed right now, but man, that does not feel like a very expensive price.
That's crazy. It's like an
I mean,
$8
Sure, but
pre-release
like
foil.
you have the pack foil, you have the pre-release foil, you have the buy box foil.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of different foil
Sure,
versions.
you're right. You're right. There are a lot of different versions of
Yeah,
it.
but the pack foil's like $8.
There are under 100 of them listed on TCG Player.
Huh.
And for something that should theoretically be at peak supply right now, I don't know. Just something to keep in mind. We've talked about this enough. DJ, you want to break your bulk?
Finally, yeah, I got It's a green enchantment that came out in one of the first Commander decks, and it was recently reprinted. And those are its only printings.
So, what was it recently reprinted? Another Commander?
That gives it away, but it was not in a Commander product.
Oh, so it was in Rivals of Ixalan.
Nope.
Well, Ixalan.
Nope.
But I'm not saying that. But, okay, so a green enchantment.
It is a green enchantment that was printed in one of the first one of the first Commander decks. And its first ever reprint was just in the past couple of months. It's 3 mana.
2 colors and a green?
Yep.
Is it an aura?
Getting warmer. Do you know it?
Oh, is it the tree thing? The thing turns the thing into a tree?
No.
Oh, that was a good guess, Jason.
Song of the Dryads was in Commander 2014, and it has never been reprinted. But
yeah, it did
good
get
guess.
reprinted.
I don't know that I know.
Jeopardy music, something.
It's not the stupid vow, I assume.
Yeah, it is.
Wow,
Is it really?
Yep, Vow of Wildness, wildness, I should say.
Oh,
I was
that
trying
did
to-
get reprinted. Yeah.
originally-
I didn't. I mean, forget about the reprints. I didn't realize that was worth money.
Card Kingdom buys the original one for 20 cents, and they buy the reprint for 8 cents.
Okay, so it's
barely
okay.
a thing.
Oh, it's in Explorers of Ixalan.
Yep.
I see.
So, I mean, 20 cents to me is like a big pick.
Oh, I thought when I said Rivals, I thought that was the name of the thing.
No,
they did.
Rivals is the next expansion.
Rivals
Explorers
is the
is
next
the weird
Explorers is
thing
the
that-
archenemy-esque
Yeah,
four-player,
well,
like...
that's what I thought it was.
Explorers
But I
is
got the
their-
names mixed
Yeah.
up.
vehicle to reprint some cards.
It's their way to blow us out with more reprints.
It's vehicle 8 of 15 to reprint cards.
Yes, but Explorers of
like-
Ixalan, if you can find it at, like, 40-ish, it has a good value of
It
products
does,
in
I
it.
agree.
It's got good new art on cards that I use in EDH, and I like the new art better, so I'm gonna actually have to buy
You
it.
can
I've
also...
heard pretty meh reviews on actually playing it, but
I mean, maybe, but I mean, I've actually had pretty good success selling the game pieces without the decks on Twitter and other social media websites. So, like,
That's cool.
I got the products, I cracked them open, I sorted all the cards, sold the time warps and the shared animosity as a TCG player or whatever, and then I sorted all the picks, and I was like, oh, Vow of Wildness is in here. That's like a 10-cent card. So I set those aside with the Jungle Shrines and Vampire Nighthawks, and then I had like the little cardboard. Actually, I'm on video, so
oh man.
I had these.
While
little
you're
things.
looking, I had my brother buy me the Magic board game for like full price at Barnes and Noble, and like now they're a year later, they're in like Five Belows and dollar stores and.
Is that the duels of the or not duels? What is that thing called?
I don't know. When you get the little like Warhammer like pieces, and it's
Yeah.
like hero clicks with magic spells.
Oh, you're right. I'm actually looking at it right now because I have it. It came in a collection and is sitting unopened in my house.
Yeah.
Guess I own that game
I've
too.
got that too.
I played it. It's fun, but like, just play Magic.
But yeah, I've got these sealed Rivals of Ixalan things, and I've been selling them pretty successfully on Twitter. They're kind of a pain in the butt to ship because you have to use an 8x11 manila envelope, and that costs like $7.50 to ship it. But I mean, like, you can recoup like 20% of the cost of the entire product just by selling the little game board tokens. Demand for that's going to go down pretty soon as we get into the new spoiler season. But I mean, like, if you're looking for a time warp and a bunch of other cards like Commander Staples or whatever, it's not a bad idea to buy the Explorers of Ixalan product at like 40-something bucks or whatever, and then sell the game tokens, sell the rest of the picks, and sell everything else, and then you're left with like a bunch of cheap Commander Staples. So
Have somebody buy it for you for Christmas. even
yeah,
better.
exactly. And like Vow of Wildness is just one of those cards that's in the product, like Lightning Helix, Path to Exile, Vampire Nighthawk, Jungle Shrine, Crumbling Necropolis, Prismatic Lenses in there. But like, yeah, there's just a bunch of like quality picks in that product. That
I mean, the first when you first started talking about, the first thing I thought about when you talk about enchantments from original Commander is the vows, but I actually legitimately didn't realize it was worth money.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
It's
All right.
barely worth money.
I mean, all
Yeah,
of them
yeah,
are
of
like
course,
all of
but-
them are 10 cents. The Vow of Wildness is more because it helps you help them kill other people better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the white one's the worst one. The Vigilance is garbage because it gives them a blocker.
Yeah. Gives them like a 2/2 knight or something.
Well, no, like Vow of
Right.
Duty gives them it makes their creature +2/+2 with vigilance, and it can't attack you. But when they use their guy to beat up other people, you can't crack back at them because their creature has vigilance.
I see what she's saying.
Yeah, not great design.
Well,
And while
it's
this
terrible, and
is,
they want to remind you that you're playing white in EDH and you've screwed up.
yeah.
All right,
Made a big mistake.
let's talk about something that I know everyone at home, and especially our listeners in particular, I imagine, are very, very, very interested in, and that is unstable.
Unstable sweet. I did
Oh
not.
God, DJ.
What? The
No,
box.
dude, it's fun, and
Okay.
I think the fact that it's selling well and it is popular, and everyone's doing wacky flavor judge crap, I think they'll do a fourth one.
3 months
Like,
ago.
I had
I
to
didn't
answer
think-
so many judge calls. I had Marshall and Jake and a few other coverage people out to F&M at my store last weekend because we were in Oklahoma City. Very convenient, whatever. We unstable drafted, and then I did one of the judge parties. So I've unstable drafted twice now, and I think drafting it's really fun. But at some point, I'm playing a game against somebody, and I was like going off. I was like doing contraptions. I'm having fun, and then they had a teammate because their card said you have a 2-headed giant teammate. That's so so dumb.
Okay, cool.
Okay, even from a financials perspective, 3 months ago, if you told me that Unstable would have better EV than Iconic Masters, I would have called you a liar.
Wow, that's
What?
funny.
These box,
Kind of does.
these
It just,
boxes
DJ,
are
it just came out, man.
what?
It didn't have better EV on the day it came out.
It's close. It's a lot easier
No,
to flip.
Iconic Masters was like 300 something the day it came out. It obviously didn't stay that way because they printed the heck out of it. But you're judging Unstable on release weekend.
You had a very,
Just let
very.
him have his meme. He tweeted that, and he got like 100 likes. He's like, "Yeah!" And
You had
then
such a
have to
sh-
come
no, no, no.
and
You had such
fart
a
in his
short
mouth.
window to make money on Iconic Masters. Like, unless you got in the week it came out, like, or like the few days
Yeah.
it came out, you had such a short window to make money on it.
Sure.
But these boxes like continue to be better EV for like somebody like me, and they're
Oh, the
guaranteed value.
Japanese
What do you mean
boxes
continue?
The
It's
Japanese
been out for
boxes of
3
Unstable
days.
are nuts. Have you seen this, guys?
The Japanese,
Well,
or like
no,
not
I
Japanese,
haven't, but-
these boxes of Unstable are going to continue to be valued like a month, 2 months down the road, regardless, just because of the lands.
Yeah.
It's
Sure,
like,
I mean-
and
Sure.
you're guaranteed value out of each box. You're like, there's no box where you just whiff ever.
Sure, you're right. I mean, how many packs are there in each one? Is it
36.
24?
No, there's 36.
No,
It's a full
36.
box?
Yeah, so
Oh, that's
So
pretty
it's
good.
yeah,
36
yeah,
lands.
That's what I'm saying. Assuming you
But
get
like, you're not getting 1 or 2 foil lands per box anymore. You're getting like 1 or 2 foil lands per case. It's
Really?
a lot different than it used to be. Yeah.
well, it's because
I
there's
opened one.
it's because they're
Foil
like
tokens.
yeah, the foil
Foil
tokens
tokens,
too,
I don't
like
know.
they're 50 cents a piece.
Yeah.
For now, this set's been out 3 days, man.
Okay, so like, do you think the unstable lands will drop?
Yes.
They've been going up.
Okay. Like, it's been 3 days, man.
It hasn't been 3 days. It's been like a week and a half.
No, it
This
hasn't.
came out on Friday, DJ. It's Tuesday. It's Monday. Like,
Yeah, it's been 4 days, dog. I don't know what you're talking about.
I guess I've had boxes for different amount of time than everyone else.
yeah, it turns out you got them from a store because you work at a store and you got to open them. Congrats. We had a pre-release for it a release for it on Friday. It's been
All you
3
got to
days.
do is break the street date. Bada boom. Just add a week to everything you say.
These boxes, okay, do you want to bet that these boxes will continue to have a better EV than Iconic Masters? Because they will.
No, I'm not disputing that. It's just like
You were like
when you
10
factually
minutes ago.
no,
you were
you said that factually the EV on release date is better, and that's not true.
I said these boxes have a better EV than Iconic Masters did for me.
What do you mean for you?
Yeah,
It's not how EV works.
This is the worst conversation.
I'm
Unstable-
just gonna let you have it, man. You don't
Unstable
even know
has
when this
better
set
EV
comes
than
out.
Iconic Masters,
Now, at this
and
moment
it will
in time,
and it will a
yes.
month ago. Do you disagree?
It will a
will-
month.
It will a month
month
from
ago.
now. Whatever.
Okay, maybe it will a month from now.
It
but,
will 2
like,
months
it
from now.
didn't- Maybe.
One of them, I don't know. They print a lot on Unstable too, and that's also being sold in these blister packs.
Yeah,
everywhere.
like
I
I'm
don't
not.
know if that's
You
the
might be
future
right. You
of all
might not
Magic.
be. I don't know.
Ugh.
The lands
This
are
is more than-
way easier to sell too.
Look, man,
Yeah.
I'm not disputing some of these things you're saying. It's just the Eevee on Iconic Masters was real good with the week it came out too, and I think that they print a lot of this stuff. Let's see how well Unstable holds up in a month when people are done with the jokes.
Yeah, but the lands aren't jokes.
Yeah, but then like you're just
That's it.
you're paying retail. They're land packs essentially. Then, you know, you're
There
paying...
are 8 cards more expensive than the lands right now.
You don't
And
need
we'll
those
see if
cards.
Huh?
You don't need to open those cards to make money on the boxes.
Right. But I'm saying the entire value of the set could just crater in a month and just be the lands.
And it'll still have good EV.
Right. It'll be fine. But I don't know if it'll be better than Iconic Masters. I don't really care. It's just certainly not a big deal. Like, it's not like Unstable is just the most incredible thing ever. The lands are cool.
It's way
but they're
better than
also not
anyone
gonna be
expected me. It's way better than anyone expected
Sure.
it to be.
I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
great.
think the lands are going to be this price in 2 months either.
I think they will.
Just make a bet, Jesus.
That's what I'm trying to do.
DJ thinks this is the only set in history where the value in a month after releases at peak supply is higher than it is.
I don't think it's going to be a lot higher. I think it's going to stay the same.
You just said you think they're going to be higher.
I said
Peak supply is a month away, 2 months away. Why would this be different than any other set where prices cost more when there are fewer cards?
because
Fellas,
people are going to
just
stop
make
opening it.
Just make a bet. Just make a bet right now.
All right, so average price of the 5 basic lands in a month, DJ.
Same-
More or less than it is right now.
Same as what they are now.
Same.
So
exact
what does
same.
same mean?
Like what are
You're taking
like
the push?
plains are 2, mountains are 2, swamps are
Well,
250.
no, don't worry. We're going down to the cent on these. I just want to know the range that same means to you, because I would have to give you odds.
Plus
to
or
not feel
minus
guilty
10%.
if you take the push. Okay, 10%.
Plus or minus 10%.
Is that acceptable, DJ?
Sure.
All right, I'm in. What's the stakes?
Stakes.
Okay.
I don't know.
Stakes are the stakes.
FOGO Bet.
FOGO Bet?
FOGO bet.
I'll do FOGO
Sure.
Bet.
All right, we're FOGO betting that one month from today. So January 12th, 2018.
Yep.
Don't worry, I will get the market price for these down to the penny, and we'll revisit this next week.
Okay.
Plus or minus 10%. I'm in. Let's talk about foils while we're on the subject thing, because I also, I guess this is a theme, engaged in a friendly wager with somebody else over the price of a foil forest 6 months from now, I think it was. So the question is, what do you guys view happening to the foil lands?
They'll drop a little bit. I think they'll drop at a greater rate than the non-foils, but I don't think that they will crater.
Everybody's expecting things to do exactly what they did for Unhinged, and I think the fact that everybody expects it means that they won't do what everyone expects.
I mean, they print a lot. My opinion is they print a lot of stuff. There are a lot of full art lands. Like, they're not like I have the over under. I took the under at 25 on a foil forest market price 6 months from now. I wanted to set the line at 30, but it got no surd. So what do you guys think about that?
I think 30 is correct.
Okay, they're 40. The market price on a forest right now is 48.
35 maybe. I think 35. 30 to 35.
I would have felt much more comfortable putting the over under at 30 than 25, but
Yeah, I don't think
am
it'll go
in
to
for
25.
The under at 25.
I don't think it goes to 25. I think in between 30 and 35 is correct.
I think the thing that might mess this up is we do know Mark Rosewater said that Unstable. He said anecdotally Unstable is selling well. For what it's
And they
worth.
could do another one, but it won't be for 4 or 5 years. So that
No.
doesn't really-
What I'm saying is, anecdotally, it also did sell very well at my store last week. We actually ran out of product on the release weekend. They do have a habit of coming in 2 months, 3 months after something like this and be like, here's a giant new wave of it. Right? Like they've done this with Eternal Masters, and it did not, it destroyed prices there. If their initial data tells them that Unstable's selling well, Wizards doesn't pump the brakes very, very much on something like that. They're going to be like, great, queue up another run of a lot.
Because they know their distribution network will take all those boxes. Wizards doesn't really sit on the crap anymore.
Right.
The distribution networks eat it, so they're the ones fire sailing. So Wizards, there's no real impetus for them to pump the brakes at all, because they just get out of the stuff.
Well, and unsets, partially for the lands, but also partially for the fact that it's sort of a timeless thing. They do the back end sales of it are higher. I think this is something that Wizards has said. Whatever the sales are for it a month over the first month, it sells better 6 months down the road than Ixalan does, right? When a normal Magic set comes out, it tends to fall off pretty quickly once a new Magic set comes out. But the unsets kind of buck that trend. Maybe partially because of the lands, but also it's just something very, very different for someone to do.
Yeah, it's easier for somebody to get it's like Conspiracy, where if you want to do that fun, wacky multiplayer thing, that's the most recent thing that has happened in the past year or so.
Right. So, and the thing is, I can see Wizards knowing that, right, as their fallback, their default safe position, just going print it all and flooding the market with it. So we'll see.
I can see that 3 months down the road, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why that 25. So you think though that the non-island foil lands are probably 30 to 40?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Jason, what do you think? The islands right now,
islands are dumb. They're 70 or 80 or something.
Yeah, they're 82 for the foil islands.
Woo. It's hard to see them maintain their my store opens 6 boxes price when we're seeing blister packs of this at Walmart and crap like that. I think there's just going to be so much supply. It's going to be who's willing to just pump all their money into having all this useless cardboard they're sitting on just to break even on the non-foil basics that they pop. It seems like such a grind. The Eevee's great because you can't lose, but you can't really win that much either.
Yeah, but as for the Walmart blister packs, with Iconic Masters, it's more realistic for somebody to buy a lottery ticket of that because they're I could open a Mana Drain or whatever. But Unstable, you really don't just want to crack randoms of this if you're not a store or if you're not somebody who's drafting. Nobody needs to open just 3 random booster packs and be I hope I get a foil base. I don't think that's a thing.
I don't get it.
I don't think that's a thing. I don't think anybody's going to Walmart or Target and just impulse buying Unstable packs on the shelves unless they already had pre-plans to draft with friends or to get a box.
Yeah,
nobody's.
I think that's
they try a bunch of dumb crap
true.
with Walmart though. Don't you remember they did that pack? It was $2 and it may or may not have a rare.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, mystery planeswalker decks now or whatever they are. So what do you guys briefly? I mean, did you enjoy the set? Because this matters too, right? In this long term we're talking about, is it fun?
It's fun.
It's fine.
I enjoyed it. Okay. I played Sealed and I played Pack Wars for a couple hours. My Sealed deck was blue-green dice rolls, and then I splashed red for old Buzzbark.
Sure. So I initially thought I would hate it, but as I drafted it, I sort of figured out, contraptions are really fun, and you can build a deck around making contraptions. And then as I'm playing the game, and there's strategic decisions of where to put your contraptions, what sprocket, and how to stack your contraptions on each sprocket, right? So that you get the effects that are beneficial together. And I was playing it, and I was surprised by how fun, that was actually a really good addition to the game. It was kind of like having mini emblems.
Yeah.
And it had strategy, and it was I don't know if they could ever do something like that in real Magic or whatever, but it felt like a mechanic that actually made the game better.
Doesn't it make you're taking a contraption instead of a card for your deck?
Right, you have to draft the contraptions, but
Yeah.
that's fine. Like, I would end up with 27, 28 draftables, and then, like, cards I could play, and then, 10 to 12 contraptions. And
you pretty much play every contraption, so...
I mean, yeah, I was just playing them all because...
Some of them
if
are
you can,
bad for your deck, though. Like, you don't necessarily want to play all of them.
Right, yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have to, right? But, if you have enough ways in your deck to make contraptions, right, it's... You can get this building advantage, and like I really like the 1-drop red creature that assembles a contraption when it comes into play, and like work a double and stuff because you spend cards that aren't great. Like a 1/1 for 1's obviously not good, but like by the time you have 3 contraptions up and that 1/1 gets +3/+3 and then +1 and flying, and it's huge because of your contraptions. Like that's an actual strategic element of the game that was a lot of fun that I didn't expect. I think some of the other stuff doesn't work very well. Like the watermark theme it's like really hard. It's just like not good. It's a lot of stuff to track, etc. But to me, I like that they did some of this stuff to try to make it more playable than the other unsets and not just all be jokes. But then they also have all the joke cards. So you'd be playing Magic, and I'm like really enjoying the strategic element of the contraptions, and then some joke card ruins the game. So
I mean, ruins the game is subjective, though. Like, somebody else who's less competitive than you might just love that.
Right, but then
even if
maybe
they
the
get blown out by
contraptions
it.
are what's ruining... Maybe the contraptions are ruining the game for them, though.
That's probably enough about Unstable,
Yeah,
really.
yeah. Anyway, so I guess it sounds like we actually are, as a whole, though, if for different reasons, impressed by how it plays.
I was very impressed with the set overall. My opinions on whether or not it should be Commander legal are entirely separate, but I really enjoyed the set.
Is your store letting people play them in Commander? Do you have sanctioned Commander tournaments?
It's more of like it's run through the system as like a casual event, so...
Well, right, but are there like prize packs or entry fees or whatever?
Yeah, there's prize packs and entry fees, and so we're
So
not...
are you allowing
No.
Are you allowing silver
No.
bordered? Yeah, neither are we.
Yeah, nobody really is.
It's
like
just such
if-
a bad rules change.
It was just like what they were trying to do is get people to just try them.
Yeah,
Right?
it's fine.
Just try them.
Most of them are fine.
Yeah. So if you try it, you might have never tried it otherwise. All of a sudden you'd be like, you know what? I didn't think I'd like this, but this is fine. We'll just keep it going. So they sort of had the small period where they forced everybody to either make the decision to ignore their ruling or try them. And after that period's over, I think everyone's going to be like, well, we can keep this, or that was dumb. So,
Yeah, I just don't like the idea of them. I mean, what they say carries weight, right? Everyone uses the ban list, even if we don't like the ban list.
Yeah, I don't see...
Starts the slippery slope of, well, we're ignoring what the rules committee says, and then it's like the rules don't mean anything. It's not a great path.
Yeah,
to
it seemed
start
like
down.
it could have been solved a lot easier by just having a separate list of, if you're going to go play in Silver Borderland, here's the cards that are banned and unbanned, and then that solves...
Well, I didn't think they expected everybody to be like, no. Because everybody was like, no. Like, all the
every
stores...
subreddit was just, like, incredibly viscerally against the change. Every store, every Twitter user was just like...
And it's
It's just like, hey, here's a fun optional thing, and everyone's like...
No, but that's the problem.
That's the thing,
it's not
it wasn't
optional.
optional. They added it to the rules.
They are the rules committee. That's the entire point. It's not optional. If you go to a GP, that is the ban list. The ban list they make is the ban list. They are the rules. So when they say silver bordered cards are legal for the next month, that's not optional. That is them. So, but now it is because we're all ignoring it. But now is the ban list optional? Like, it's just a terrible, terrible path to start down because they wanted people to play silver bordered cards.
They did. Well, they thought they were just doing some fun shit, but they did kind of undermine their own authority, I think.
Yeah, that's just the whole thing with the rule. It's the entire thing that everyone's always said about the rules committee is they do what they want to do in their tiny insular process, and they don't consider how the game is played at large. And it's literally what they did, right? That's just what happened. They don't care. They don't, they're not considering the GPs that run commander side events. Because that's not how they think the game should be played.
Yeah, I mean, considering they made the change in the announcement, like, a day or two before a GP with side events.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, but hopefully they learn something from it. Let's move on to pick of the week.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week. You know, Gamble was in Eternal Masters, and it's pretty cheap.
Yes.
Just buy a Gamble. Gamble gets played in a lot of decks because sometimes you just want to throw crap in the yard because you're playing like Feldon or whatever, or like Daretti. Like sometimes you just go search for an artifact and you're like, oh no, I got randomly discarded, and then you just put it.
Yeah. Oh no, I played Entomb
Yeah.
instead. The horror.
Yeah. Sometimes you have Entomb. Yeah.
I'll add to this something that might matter as much or maybe more. Gamble is very important in Legacy lands, and that's a very real Legacy deck.
Yeah. And, you get that. Do you think Gamble's getting reprinted again? I don't. I think this is it.
Maybe.
It's gettable for like $7-8 for the Eternal Masters
That's
version.
up
And it
from
brought
even 4 or 5.
Cheaper. Yeah.
I was gonna say I thought it was 4 or 5.
Yeah. And TCG market price might be whatever.
$5.50 TCG market price. Yeah.
So like it's up a little, and I think it probably hit its bottom and is rebounding, because as everyone's just sort of moved on from Eternal Masters, I think people aren't cracking packs of it with Iconic running around. So I think Eternal Master stuff is all gonna like start readjusting. So
That's a good pick. It's actually up. It is very much in the flat line, right? And it bottomed out at like 550 on TCG median and is now up to almost 650 over the past 6 months. Sure, that's not much, but it absolutely means that it's hit the floor.
Yeah. And Gamble's like the only mono red tutor there is, basically.
Yeah, just wait till lands like wins the Legacy GP again, or top, even just maybe like top 8's the next Legacy GP, or the team trios. It could be a popular one.
I think the
in
real
Santa Clara next month.
I think the real buy-in here is Tabernacle. Just tell everyone to go buy Tabernacles.
Tabernacle.
Good
All right.
suggestion, DJ.
Yeah, I mean that's where the real money is. All right.
I mean, for what it's worth, Tabernacle and Bazaar and Library are all going through corrections up right now.
Yeah, I just sold my Tabernacle.
How bizarre. All right.
I have a pick where the Card Kingdom buy list matches TCG low, because I bought one of these at the shop recently, and then I was going to sell it to somebody, and then I was like, how about you match Card Kingdom buy list? And they're like, what? So Leovold is $30 on TCG low, and Card Kingdom will give you like $39 in trade credit if you want. So
that means they have confidence the price will go up, which
that means that they
Or
can't.
they're just super
on
low.
what?
Wait,
What's
Jason,
that
what'd you
based
say?
on?
Or Corbin, what'd you say?
Or they're just super low on stock.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Leovold is really hard to come by because nobody wants to crack boxes of Conspiracy 2, because the EV of a box of Conspiracy 2 is like $68 or so, and it's basically
Which is less than dealer cost.
I mean, EV of a box is usually less than dealer cost at this point in time.
Yeah.
But
TJ's right on Tabernacle, man. There's 11 on TCG Player. All you have to do is spend $10,000 and you can buy it out.
duh.
Actually, it's more than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if
$10,000.
that's only 11K, then
Yeah, it's like 12,000. Well, no. Well, one of them's listed at 1,700. So, all right, 15K and you can buy out Tabernacle. That's all.
Wow, we've been on YouTube, 6 weeks, and we're already starting to talk like YouTube cast.
buying stuff out. All right.
Leovold's real good though.
All we've talked about is TCG player buyouts and sealed product. What have we become?
Well, we talked about a lot of stuff in this episode, including squatty potties.
Buy one, just not yet.
So, last week was a modern GP in my hometown, Oklahoma City.
We don't have time for this.
It was ruled
This
by.
segment's getting cut.
Yeah,
No, this is a segment. It's my
exit
pick of the
music
week.
the exit music is rolling in right now. JJ,
This
do
is my
it.
pick of the week.
Do it. Say the card name so we can get out.
Oh, this is his pick of the week. I thought you were trying to... Did you have
No, I would have literally been done if you guys would just shut up.
You know what? That's not our style on this podcast. You've been gone a while. You don't know how we do things anymore. DJ thinks he's a host. I interrupt people and just...
Cathar's Crusade, guys.
Anyways, it was a bunch of Tron that did really well. All Scape Shift finals. Lantern did well as well. I'm all about that. But just underneath those, only one in the top 8, I think, of this, but a bunch in the top 32. Cryptic Command decks. A lot of Jeskai. Between Spell Queller and really it's a big one now, Search for Azcanta in the control versions. But also like the Spell Queller Geist to St. Traff version as well. A lot of Jeskai right now in Modern. So my pick is actually Cryptic Command, and specifically the Iconic Masters version, which you can get for well under $20.
It's like 20.
Cryptic Command's gone through a lot of printings now, and they finally put it under 20. And I think that it probably doesn't stay there forever, below 20. I think that the Iconic Masters version is going to correct to the others, which are all 25 or more. So I don't think the $18 Iconic Masters Cryptic Commands are going to 30 tomorrow or whatever. But I do think that maybe all Cryptic Commands could be 36 months from now if Jeskai continues to do well. And at the very least, I think it's correcting up to 25. So if you are a Modern player and you think you're going to want Cryptic Commands, if it's something you've just been thinking about or whatever, right? You're just trying to build your collection up for Modern. Iconic Masters Cryptic Commands with original art, right? The only printing of that art is, I think, definitely one at its floor to pick up that has a lot of upside from Iconic Masters.
Boom. I miss that Japanese Modern deck where the dude was like countering every spell and then using the bounce mode to pick up Eternal Witness.
Yeah, the Vial deck. That deck is sweet.
It's called Eternal Command, guys.
I had
a Shota deck.
I was actually in Standard. I was playing blue-green where you would like get a couple witnesses down and just get back Plow Under or a counter spell, and then you would use Echoing Truth to bounce like 3 of your witnesses.
We had that deck on camera last weekend. I found somebody playing Eternal Command. Yeah, I believe that was a Shota deck from the
Does it still get there in Modern? Like, I feel
like
people abandoned that for a reason.
Yeah, it's not really good. It's just I've tried playing it before. It's just really
real mana
slow.
hungry.
Yeah, it takes a lot of mana and it's very slow. Like your Cryptic Command Eternal Witness loop is good, but it doesn't even like win the game, and it's not till like turn 6 or 7 or something. That honestly, it feels like maybe not that long ago, but that deck was a long time ago. Modern was very different then.
Needs more Plow Under.
Sure. All right. Anything else you guys want to say before we get out of here this week?
Smash that like button. And if you're listening to it on the podcast, thanks for listening to this as a podcast.
Yep. Glad to be back, guys.
Send us emails.
It was a hard month without me. I've had so much feedback. This is Corbin. We miss you. Come back.
Yeah, send us emails. We won't read them because we're gonna spend 10 minutes talking about stupid France instead. We had emails keyed up and ready to go. We just didn't.
Also,
read them,
don't complain about me asking you to get value out of your subscription because you keep forgetting.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, at the $5 level, aren't you guaranteed to have your email read?
10.
That's how little Jason wants to read emails. It's a $10 level. We read most of the emails.
We'll make it 20. All right.
We literally can't read every email because we get infinite, but we do read the majority of them. So we'll make sure to have some emails next week. So send them in.
Keep sending us emails.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. It was good to be back. We'll see you guys next week.
Yep. 1 out of 3 hosts agrees it's good for Corbin to be back.
Yep.